Since we're on the topic of celebration, that's what we're going to talk about this morning, as last week. Celebrating YOU, your own uniqueness. The spiritual truth that each and every individual is a unique expression of the one creative force, the first cause, the unique giver of all life itself. We are unique because each and every one of us, there is not two alike. There's only one, and that is the most amazing thing, because there's infinite possibilities and potential, and if that's the truth, why repeat? The infinite creator does not repeat itself. So each one of us is an individualization of that creative force. And today we're going to continue what we spoke of last week and continue the celebration and take it deeper. You know, if you were to look around, it might seem that the world appears to be in great trouble, great distress. Everywhere we look, a system, whether environmental, economical, whatever it is, looks like it's in complete disarray and failure. To some of us, not to everyone. Or it could be that we are concerned about this planet we inhabit, Earth, and are we caring for it? Are we loving it the way we should be? Or it could be, we could stay in that, which is good, to care about it, but not to get caught up in a low vibration, get caught up in fear and worry and doubt. Or we do have choice. We always have choice. It could be the most profound time to be alive, because this is the leap in consciousness that we have been speaking about for the past 15 or so years. We've been talking about it was coming. A change in consciousness was coming. It's here. It's happening. And we are the ones to do the job. We are the way showers, the light bearers. It is us. And I know we're up for it. I know it. Because there's a power within us that knows only good. So we get to choose where our focus is going to be. You get to decide. Ernest Holmes wrote this in Science of Mind. Stay with the one and never deviate from it. That one is inside each and every one of us. Never leave it for a moment. Nothing else can equal this attitude. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. When things look the worst, he says, that is the supreme moment to demonstrate to ourselves that there are no obstructions to the operation of truth. Nothing can obstruct it. Not even the worst thing in this human experience can obstruct the truth from expressing. That's not Holmes, that's me. Back to this. When things look the worst is the best time to work, the most satisfying time. So that's what we are here for at this time in our history. And today we will see how this can be our greatest hour, our most satisfying time to work, as we become catalysts for the sleep in consciousness that is occurring. Can you feel it? Everything's changing. Everything's changing, and we are here to hold that light, to be that peace. Beautiful experiences of walking with the monks. Just beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Because that is what it's all about, and that is why they are walking. They are walking to bring awareness to all of us. Oh my God, got my God bumps going again. It's just beautiful what they are doing. Well, first we're going to take time to continue the celebration of all that we are. And we should celebrate all that we are, right here and right now. And then we will explore how we can take greater degrees of ownership of our lives and the world in which we live. So celebration. First, we're going to spend a few minutes continuing the celebration of last week. Think right now of 3 things about yourself, about what you have to celebrate. Think of 3 things in your life as you can celebrate. Perhaps you just reached a goal that you were trying to get to, received an honor or recognition. Perhaps you've created a new experience in your life or adopted a more positive attitude and found the most perfect affirmation for your life. Perhaps you've released an old fear that you no longer want to carry around. And maybe, if you can't find anything to be really grateful for, maybe just getting up today and being here now. I'm grateful for that. I really am grateful for that. I needed this talk more than all of you. Maybe not more, but I sure needed it. So the more I worked on this talk, the more I got in touch with that self that can, if we let it, undermine our lives, tell us stories that we believe. And it's all happening in our thoughts. It's not happening outside. It's happening in our thoughts. But we can take what's happening outside and make it into the most incredible situation and story just through our thoughts. And that's not the road that is productive and conducive for peace. We want that peace. We need to be that peace. And I spoke last week about journaling your wins, if you were here, or your accomplishments that you go through the day. Do you recognize, not big or small, do you recognize the incredible things that you do through the day? Just making contact with someone that you might have changed their life, with your smile, with your kind word. These are things that we do to uplift our fellow humans. Think back now on all the things about yourself. And those 3 things that you can celebrate about yourself. And my guess is that there are very few exceptions, if any, that things you are celebrating occurred because of 1 or 2 things. First, you took ownership of your life. You took responsibility of whatever's going on, because your thoughts are the power that creates. We know this. And second, you opened up and brought the energy of the divine into the equation. When we truly recognize what it is within us that is so constant, so powerful, that God's self, that we are. How grateful I am to just live life knowing it's not all on the outside, that the real work is done on the inside. So let's look at the idea of taking ownership, complete ownership of your life, or bringing God fully into the equation, because you are God. So you are in the equation, but you have to be aware of it. You really can't leave God out of the equation, can you? Can't do that, because wherever you are, there is God. Always present, and that's a gift. That's a great gift. There's a lot going on in our world right now, and everything seems to be out of our hands, out of our control. We can't do anything about a lot of things that we see out there, if you will. But we're part of the out there, because there's no outside. There's no inside. It is all part of the one consciousness, the one force. But we responsibility, and we do the work within our own consciousness. We can't control companies. We can't control governments. We can't control the actions of others. We cannot do that. But how about we take ownership of our lives when it seems like so much is out of our control? It's not true. It is not true. We live the lives we live. We have the experiences we have, and we take control and ownership of those experiences. Right about now, your mind could easily turn to fear and blame, and that happens a lot. You could be starting to feel like a victim of circumstances and start to point your finger out there and all over. It's their fault. This is the reason that I'm in this situation. Whatever it is, it's so easy for us to do, to blame what we think is going wrong in our lives. And when we do that, we are really stopping dead in our tracks, and we have no chance of moving. When we're in fear, we have no way of moving forward and being a part of the evolutionary leap in consciousness that is occurring right now. I remember a trip that I took many years ago to Las Vegas. We went once, it was enough, but it was interesting. I visited the Liberace Museum, because who wouldn't visit the Liberace Museum? Seeing his pianos and his elaborate costumes, it was absolutely amazing, really. One costume was so ornate and amazing that it took over a year to make, and there was 7 seamstresses sewing over a year. And it weighed 200 pounds. 200 pounds. Remember those capes? Any of you who ever saw Liberace? The capes he wore. They were amazing. Always people came out to take them off of him because they were so heavy, he couldn't get them off of himself. And then I started thinking about that when I was there as a metaphor for what we carry around, the blame. Self-blame, the blame of others, that we carry around 200 pounds of it, and how heavy we feel. And so it's really difficult to come out of that when we're so pushed down by it, by the weight of it. And I thought about how Liberace would make his entrance carrying around that 200 pounds, and then the 2 people that removed it. How free he must have felt after that was off of him. But it was literally lifted off of him, as I said, and now he was liberated to shine, and that man could shine. He shined. He was amazing. I didn't appreciate him then. My mother had him on all the time. So I didn't appreciate it then, but now I do appreciate. He was a real showman. He was there to love people. I don't think there was a mean bone in him. It didn't seem that way. He seemed so kind. So I choose to think of him that way. So this morning, it's my hope that we really get this at a deep level, that we can release some of that weight that we've been schlepping around with us for a lot of our lives. When we blame others, and we blame ourselves, and we're always blaming someone else. And we take 100% ownership of our individual lives and of our experiences. But when you throw off that cape, the burden of blame, and take ownership and bring God into the equation, that's where we take that quantum leap in consciousness. It's a quantum leap. It means it happens fast and big. And it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere. Remember that blaming is futile. It really is. It's futile. Blaming your surroundings, circumstances, or others is a futile exercise because each and every one of us is responsible for our own experiences, for our reactions, how we react to anything. And I love the idea of looking at the word responsible like this. Able to respond. That's the meaning of responsible. Able to respond in a way that's appropriate for us. Whenever we look outside ourselves to and point a finger and say the problem is, because everybody knows that answer, oh, the problem is, and they just go on and it trails off, it can lead anywhere, down that rabbit hole, which is not a good place sometimes to be. Too often we try to change the outer things instead of changing what's within us. This is where we have power, we have control, and it changes everything. Because that vibration, it ripples out. It ripples out and touches everything and everyone. Believe it or not, but I believe it because that's where our power is. That's how we can affect change in this world. It's part of the way. And to me, it's the biggest part of the way. Gary Zukav, in his book, Soul Stories, he talks about how each one of us can be likened to a movie. I love this analogy. You are not only the star of the movie, but we are the screenwriters as well, getting to decide the plot. Think of your life as a movie. The outcome. What kind of movie are we writing? He says. And how do we want the main character to develop? Where is the movie heading? How do you want it to end? Are you in harmony, working in harmony with the executive producer, God? Do you listen to the director, your higher self? Your intuition's always directing you. Or are you listening to the other actors and extras? And that's the collective consciousness. That is affecting us all the time, whether we know it or not. The group collective consciousness of this planet. That's why it's so important that we hold ourselves in that light and spread it out as much as we can. Blame is the result of invalid thinking. Invalid, it's not valid. Invalid thinking arises from the collective consciousness, because we can feel it. We can feel that collective consciousness. Everyone on this planet is energy, and we're all entangled with each other, so we're all one. As the song told us, we are one. And I'll never stop saying that. And here's our job then, to develop, nurture, embody, and embrace a reverence and awe for all the good that is positively unfolding everywhere, including right where we are, in every moment. We gotta be aware in every moment and pull ourselves into that alignment. Right here in the midst of what looks and feels like world insanity, right? Folks are feeling compassion. I see so much compassion. And that's part of the gift. That's part of what all of this underbelly ugliness is bringing up, is that compassion in us. We want to hold on to that compassion. Do the right thing. But always have compassion. Have love in your heart, because that's what you're putting out there and that's what you're going to receive back. There's no way around that. Oh, that's the way it works. That's the law of attraction. That's the way it works. It's a great law of life. Of course, we might get caught up in the illusions of dire predictions and rumors of ruin. It's coming at us from everywhere. And you know, I've been saying for years, well, I don't watch the news. You know, so I'm good. I don't watch the news. And I was good when I first said that, like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But you know what? There it is. Everywhere I go is this device. And this device has on it everything. And it knows everything. God, don't bring up a word, because all of a sudden on social media, that word is showing up with a picture of exactly what it is you said. But that device is telling me all the things I don't watch on the news. So it's coming at us. We gotta be tough. We gotta be strong. We gotta be empowered. That's our task for living in this world that we're in. There's never been one like it. Never. You get to come from among these incredible, compassionate lights that are everywhere, and realize that you never were caught up in the quagmire of this insanity. After all, not really. That God always, always has your back. But it's more than that. If you are God, then it's within you. It is within you. You are that power. And you cannot be cut off from your good in any way. Now, I was another quality or drama that I thought of this morning was, because this story was playing in my head all morning. And you know when you get an idea, and you play with that idea, and it becomes this entire story that is absolutely not true, that you know of, but you have to have an answer, so you make it up. Of disappointment. We get disappointed over things, and if you're like me, you don't just let it go. You think you do. But there it was this morning, this disappointment, and it was there the whole morning with me. And I sat down to reread this talk and mark it all up, and I said, oh my. It's happening for your highest good. Everything is conspiring for my highest good. And so that was my gift this morning that I could take, was that no matter what is taking place, it's happening for my highest good. I don't know what that is, but it felt a whole lot better than being in that disappointment and that blame that I was in all morning for something that I don't even know if it's true or not. So there was a story of in National Geographic magazine many years ago that I have never forgotten, and that sticks with me because it's really a great metaphor for what we're talking about and what happens when we align with spirit. Firefighters had battled a major forest fire, and finally the fire was out. And they were walking through the ruins and the ashes and the live embers, and all of a sudden they happened across the charred remains of a bird on the ground. The bird had her wings spread to full capacity, and one of the firefighters gently lifted up the wing with the toe of his boot. And what he found was a wonderful discovery underneath that charred wing. Little baby birds, healthy, alive baby birds, kept safe with a mother's wing from the raging fire. A perfect example of God's protective nature It's written in the scriptures of Psalm 91. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield. I don't get caught up in the pronouns, because 100 years ago when they were writing all this stuff, pronouns were in. But for me, God isn't it. It can be anything you want. But we are shielded from anything by this beautiful protective force that is so incredible. That is who we are. Even in these troubled times, we can declare with the psalmist, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him I will trust. So you can say in it, if you feel comfortable, I will trust. I trust that and that's truth. Spiritual truth is that we are all one, that there is within me a divine power, and it's in everyone when they're awakened and aware of it. In the Upanishads, the sacred Hindu scriptures, it says, one's own thought one's own thought is one's own world. What a person thinks is what he becomes. And that is the eternal mystery. If one dwells on the Supreme Self, one will experience undying happiness. Nothing can harm that truth of who we are, the power within us. Nothing can harm that. Most important, turn your attention away from the blame, from disappointment, to the loving presence within. Always there. Here you will find centeredness, solace, learning, and solution, just by sitting with your intention on the inner emotion rather than blaming others. The love you activate for yourself within will begin to radiate out as yourself. And it will continue the journey of this sacred quest that we are all on, and we are all on it. There will be love where blame once was. So right now, think of someone or something that you have blamed. Could be yourself. Or think of a fear that you have right now. And realize that fear is coming from a place of placing more trust in the outside world than you're placing on God, your inner power, your inner world. Could you this morning, right in this room, right here and right now, take off that 200-pound cape of blame and fear? Take it off your shoulder and release it, and take ownership of our own life. Lift your shoulders high, always remembering that God is the source of all good. That shifted my whole day today when I stepped into, wait a minute, this is all happening for my highest good. The minute I did that, I released that cape, and it was getting heavy, that cape. So I was very happy to release it. So my friends, it's your move. It'll always be your move. Right in this room, right now. It's always been your move, our move. You can choose to blame the outer situations and circumstances and live in that, be a part of the problem. Because remember, where our attention goes, our energy flows, and the more we are focusing on what we don't want, the more energy we are giving it. So focus on what you do want. And if you don't know what you want, just say that divine good fills my life right now. Divine good fills my life right now. You can choose to celebrate the presence of God good in your life? And this could be one of your finest hours. That choice is always yours. So today I invite you to start celebrating you. Go within and learn how to take responsibility for what we are thinking, because only we're thinking it. We're creating it. And always remember that you are a unique part of this oneness, this fabric of life. You are the thread in it. We are all threads in this tapestry of life. And you are a unique part of the indwelling presence that will never abandon you, never leave you, always love you. So we never have to really worry about things the way we think we need to. We need to take responsibility, stand tall, and say, God's good is unfolding right now in my life. So